Hello everyone. I am Lakshmi Revathi. This video presentation is for the course Data Visualization. Before getting into the dashboard, I just want to give a brief introduction about Jon Snow's original cholera map. So this is Jon Snow's original cholera map. During a major cholera epidemic in 1854, London, Dr. John Snow collected and mapped data on these locations where the cholera deaths occurred. His detailed analysis led to identification of this epidemic source as a contaminated public water source. So he collected the information about nearby pumps. And to recreate the John Snow's map in an interactive version, we gathered the information of the coordinates of street maps and the age, sex, and death information of each individual. And also, we plotted some important landmarks as this workhouse and the brewery, and also some street names. Getting into the dashboard, so I started exploring the data sets with the street coordinates, age, sex, and death information of individuals and tried to understand the data. After familiarizing myself with the data, I started designing this template for the dashboard. And later, I started designing the street map and generated the lines of streets with the coordinates and later labeled the streets with the street names. Once the backdrop is generated, then I added the pumps. Here are the 13 pumps. Those are nearby to this golden square. And later, I added the landmarks, the workhouse, and the brewery. And finally, I mapped the map points, which represents the individual deaths with age and gender, and also the date of the death. Then I analyzed the information and made it interactive with the line chart. And I created this line chart. Next, I started designing this line chart with deaths based on the coordinates from the deaths age sex dataset. And also I added the grid and added the transition to the line chart, and also I added the resizing to each point and labels with the tooltip, which represents the date of the death and number of the person's death. For example, so the number of deaths on August 29th is only one. And by this analysis, I observed that the major number of deaths happened from August 31st to September 7th. In this week, the major number of deaths caused on September 1st. Those are 143. And this interactive version represents the number of deaths in the street map as well. And later I designed the pie charts for the distribution of deaths with age group and also sex. I added the labels for the pie chart, which represents the number of deaths and percentage of deaths, along with the interaction with the street map. So these are the number of deaths that occurred on for the children, for the people with age group 0 to 10, and respectively for all other age groups. From this pie chart, I observed that major number of deaths occurred for the people below 10 years and above 80 years. So the cholera outbreak affected most of the children and older people above 80 years. And then I created another pie chart too, which resembles the genders. So the blue color represents the male and the pink represents the female. From this, I observed that the major number of deaths caused to female than the male comparatively. And I also added the legend for the street map representing the landmarks, and the blue represents the male and the pink represents female, and the pumps are in the maroon. And I added the detailed documentation of my design process and my design choices, objectives, and also the observations. Thank you so